Tonight on CTV News at 5.
I had basically tailored my resume and my cover letter for every single job I was trying to apply to.
Who's hiring? Young people struggle to find summer jobs.
Our motto here is, prevent, check, and test.
Plus, parasite prevention. Tick-borne illness isn't always obvious. We asked the experts what to look for.
As it was hitting the water, that's when I was like, this is happening.
And a real-life hero, a St. John man is recognized for a frigid water rescue.
A few clouds and fog patches tonight, then a showery weather system on approach for Friday.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, looking for work. If you know a young person who's having a hard time securing summer employment, you're not alone. Thousands of high school and university students are eager to make some extra cash in the off-season. But as CTV's Callum Smith reports, with so many applicants, is there enough work to go around? Callum.
Hi, Maria. That's an important question as the next generation seeks employment opportunities. But it's also a difficult one to answer as the country battles a youth unemployment stat that some say is too high, while young job seekers tell me finding work is no easy feat. This Employment Service Center says while there may not be hard data on the summer job market, they've got a liaison in schools working with students.
They have observed some good information in terms of this summer, seeing a student getting a little bit more interviews and even some job offers compared to last summer.
Saying there's benefits to hiring younger despite maybe not having work experience.
Maybe some recent skills, but also some solid comfort level with technology and AI and things like that. So I think there may be a shift there to a little bit more openness.
But the tides are turning, says the local YMCA's Director of Employment Services.
In previous years, youth could change jobs every week. They could have had a job in 1 week, and if they didn't like it, it was a job seeker's market. Now what people are doing is they're finding that it's harder to tap in. Maybe they don't have the experience.
And the proof comes from a young person she interviewed yesterday.
He indicated that he submitted over 60 resumes and still was unable to secure employment. This is a high school student.
Proving the job hunt can take some time. How long did it take you to find work?
Like over a year.
Now a barista, she's thankful the search paid off.
It was really satisfying, and I love my coworkers now, and it makes me just feel a lot more happy to have a good crew.
After 2 months of tailoring resumes and cover letters, Manan Rajput gave up.
It's tough, I'm not gonna lie, because it was just me putting consistent effort basically every day and then not really getting anything from that. I did manage to score a few interviews, but unfortunately that didn't really lead anywhere.
Now focused more on school, he's still concerned about the unemployment rate, sitting at 13.4%.
I think that's kind of crazy because we're the future. People have to get multiple jobs just to survive, which is definitely contributing to the lack of jobs for people or the youth to get in general.
A statistic that's also worrisome to the Executive Director of Employment Services at the YMCA.
That's high. It's really high. It's a lot higher. Even if you're looking at the stats pre-COVID, they were lower than that.
According to the YMCA, it's important for business owners and employers to hire young people, saying in many cases they'll be pleasantly surprised. And while that youth unemployment rate again sits above 13%, the latest number will be announced next month with Statistics Canada's latest labor force survey. Maria.
Oh, thank you very much, Callum. Callum Smith for us in the news center this evening. All right, time now to turn our attention to Todd Battis, who's standing by at the anchor desk with a look at the headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi there, Maria. Tonight we're hearing from Justice Minister Sean Fraser, who says Ottawa has strengthened a bill that gets tough on crime. It includes making bail harder to get for repeat offenders, curbing retail crime, and protecting workers. We will have the details for you at 6 o'clock. New figures on the number of drug overdoses in the Moncton area show the problem. It is not slowing down. Frontline workers are continually being put under an overwhelming amount of pressure. Coming up in the newscast, we'll tell you how one shelter is trying to help those folks out from the fallout of everything they see. It's another big weekend for events in the region's biggest city, and that includes on and around Lake Banook in Dartmouth. The Canoe Sprint World Championships began today under sunshine and blue skies. Look at that. At 6 o'clock, we will take you to the lake to hear about what's coming up over the next 3 days. I said that for a reason, Kaylin Mitchell in the Weather Center. We're all happy to see the sunshine. Thank you.
Should we talk about the conditions over the next 3 days then, just briefly, with that event in mind?
Yeah.
So tomorrow there's going to be some increasing cloudiness through the day, but no wet weather expected in the Halifax area until Friday night when a few showers will move in. There will be a couple showers that pass through on Saturday and then a lower chance of a shower on Sunday. But nothing over the next 3 days looks like it's going to be like a complete washout for a prolonged period of time. Certainly doesn't look like what we started off this week with that period of rain on Tuesday. Taking a look at conditions right now across the Maritimes, warmest in the west and then coolest in the east. The reason for that is a bit of a northerly wind coming in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the Cabot Strait for parts of Prince Edward Island, areas of Cape Breton, keeping some temperatures there at this hour in the low to mid-teens. As we move into eastern areas of New Brunswick, it's mostly mid to high teens, and same thing goes for eastern areas of mainland Nova Scotia. And then we find 20s in western areas of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia, with a few exceptions on the coastline. For example, the Lunenburg weather station, which very much is a direct coastal weather station, reporting 19 degrees. Winds right now pretty light. They're being sustained between around 5 and 15 kilometers per hour, getting a few occasional gusts reported up to around 30. Winds will continue to remain light as we make our way through this evening. Partly cloudy conditions. Still a low chance of a pop-up shower in western areas of New Brunswick, but not seeing the same type of thunderstorm activity as we had yesterday. There are a couple thunderstorms in the state of Maine. There's a very low chance that late this evening, say 8, 9, even 10 p.m., that a small little thunderstorm could drift into the west of New Brunswick. It would be very isolated, nothing widespread. I'll have more in the forecast later on. Maria.
And we will see you later on. Thank you, Kaylin. Right now, CTV and Northumberland Ferries want to send you on an island escape. One lucky viewer will win a fun-filled vacation for two on Prince Edward Island, including travel to and from PEI aboard Northumberland Ferries. We're also throwing in accommodations, dining, activities, and more. To enter, go to ctvatlantic.ca or click on the QR code on your screen right now. We'll announce the winner on Friday, July 3rd. All right, time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, small pest, big problems.
I'm Stephanie Seacos in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia. Still to come on CTV News at 5, Tick Check. A vet clinic is helping to screen for a number of tick-borne diseases. How you can help protect your dog, coming up on CTV News at 5.
Welcome back. Summer is here, and it's more important than ever to do tick checks on yourself and on your pets. When it comes to tick-borne illnesses, it's possible for dogs not to show any symptoms. As CTV's Stephanie Seacos reports, a vet clinic in Nova Scotia is helping to screen for those diseases.
Yeah, so the two over here on the left are engorged.
It's already been a rough year when it comes to ticks.
It's definitely been an increase. We've had, dozens of clients come in early on within the year as well.
The damp, cool spring brought on a rapid start to tick season. Now that summer is here and more people are heading outdoors with their pets, it's crucial to be cautious.
We're starting to realize now that it's not just for those types of hikers and campers. Unfortunately, ticks have taken over our backyards, our sidewalks. They're a little bit more in our homes these days.
In response, the Cobequid Animal Hospital in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia, held a clinic to screen for 4 different diseases.
We're doing heartworm, which is becoming a lot more prevalent these days, and it's passed through by mosquito bites. And then we also were testing for Lyme, anaplasmosis, and Ehrlichia, which are all tick-borne diseases, and we have seen an increase in all 3 of those in Nova Scotia recently.
Typically, symptoms of these types of diseases can include
signs of lethargy, decreased appetite, stiffness, or even limping that seems to switch back and forth between legs. The issue is with most tick-borne diseases, a lot of dogs don't actually show symptoms, or they don't show symptoms right away.
There are steps you can take to try to keep your pet safe.
Our motto here is, prevent, check, and test.
For the breeds that are the longer hair, it's definitely a lot harder to be really thorough and looking for the ticks. It's easier for them to hide. Definitely would recommend getting like a fine-tooth comb and brushing through the entire dog.
Because of Nova Scotia's climate, it's recommended dog owners give their pets flea and tick medication all year round. Stephanie Seco, CTV News, Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Stephanie. A good reminder this time of year indeed.
I know everything has its place in the ecosystem, but
Yeah.
if it ticks, we really need them? Really? I know they're food for some things out there.
I guess so. All right, so we are talking about the weather that's coming our way, and what a beautiful shot we've got here. This is glorious.
Yeah, very nice scene here. This is coming out of Leach's Creek. It's a nice drone shot in Cape Breton. They did have some sunshine for today. Their temperatures, though, cooler than other parts of Nova Scotia because the wind was a little bit out of the north. I'll have more on the forecast coming up after the break.
When Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling is taped at ATV in Moncton, the fans line up outside the television station hours before the show actually starts. The fans come to
Some classic entertainment here. Calling all Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling fans, if you watch the wildly popular pro wrestling series on ATV in the 70s and 80s, you'll want to check out a video now posted from our archives on our YouTube page. We've uploaded a three-piece series on the popularity of Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling from 1982. You can watch that now on the CTV Atlantic YouTube page. Oh, Kaylin, this was just all the Maritime kids. We just lived for this when we were kids. I just love it. This is bringing back all the feels. Look at this, right into the audience.
That's what the best wrestling does. Gets right in there in the audience, right?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit before my time and a little bit before I was out here in the region, but even I have heard tales of Grand Prix wrestling.
Yeah, the legacy's real, right?
It's got a little bit of a legacy for sure. Well, now it's time to go off the top with a flying weather forecast, and we'll get into that right now. We're looking out here at Wallace, Nova Scotia, down by the coast for today. You can see a little bit of cloud cover there in the background, but generally speaking, aside from some cooler temperatures in eastern parts of the Maritimes, so it's a pretty fair weather day for the region. And we do have some showery conditions that will be returning to parts of the region coming up for tomorrow. As we take a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure has climbed a little bit from yesterday. Remember, it dipped down through the first part of this week as we dealt with a low pressure system and a lot of rain. That low pressure system is now to the north of Newfoundland. In behind it, we have a low pressure system that's making its way through southern Ontario. This is already pushing some showery conditions into the northeastern United States, and that's the next system that's headed in our direction. Now, currently on radar around the region, there's not much to show you. There is still a chance of a couple little spotty pop-up showers in western areas of New Brunswick, and there is some thunderstorm activity back over the St. Lawrence River Valley in through Quebec and in the state of Maine. There is a low chance that a very isolated thunderstorm later this evening could drift towards the west of New Brunswick, but we're not seeing the same type of thunderstorm activity that we had in that province yesterday when we had some severe thunderstorm watches and at times warnings. Taking a look at our forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation. Aside from that low chance, again, later this evening of a little shower or a small little thunderstorm drifting to the west of New Brunswick, it's just going to be a few clouds, but with some fog patches developing overnight into the start of the day for tomorrow. That does mean that overnight and very early in the morning, you want to be careful about some areas of some low or reduced visibility in the Maritimes. It does look like conditions could be foggiest for parts of Nova Scotia, especially towards Atlantic coastal areas, though that fog will be dissipating or retreating to the coast as we make our way from the morning into the afternoon. At the same time, as we go from Friday morning into Friday afternoon, showers develop and move into the province of New Brunswick. That's ahead of a warm front that's coming up to the northeastern United States. Later in the day Friday, so talking late afternoon and the first part of the evening, there will be a chance of a few showers reaching Prince Edward Island, northern and southwestern areas of Nova Scotia. And then as we continue through Friday evening and Friday night, showers will move across Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, and some of the showery conditions will linger into Saturday, especially for PEI in Nova Scotia. Showers becoming more isolated in their coverage, so a lower chance of a shower for the province of New Brunswick. Now, most cases, those showers may bring in some rainfall amounts of around a few to several millimeters, but there is a low chance of a heavier shower or a small thunderstorm with them. And if that happens, of course, it could bump up those rainfall amounts. Now, taking a look at winds in the forecast for tonight, they're going to remain on the light side. And for tomorrow, generally out of the south across a good portion of the Maritimes, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, maybe a few gusts between 20 and 30. Northern communities in New Brunswick, still a bit more of an easterly wind. Lows in the forecast for tonight around the Maritimes will be mostly falling into a range of around 11 to 13 degrees, a little bit cooler in Cape Breton, where some lows could be between 6 and 10. And then high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow around the Maritimes, mostly in the high teens and low 20s. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher, oh, I love this one. This is coming in from 10-year-old Evelyn from Brookhouse Elementary. Evelyn has sent us a picture of a beautiful summer sunset. I'm thinking somewhere tropical, Maria, because those look like some very nice palm trees to me. Thank you, Evelyn. Weather watchers can come in to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin, and well done, Evelyn. All right, so a lot of us share our home internet with visitors, but as CTV's Pat Foran reports, once they start using your Wi-Fi, you could end up sharing way more than you plan to.
When guests come to your house, having access to Wi-Fi is all but expected. But sharing your password-protected network also gives them access to all of your connected devices. A little-known feature on most routers offers a quick fix.
One easy thing that folks can do to protect their Wi-Fi network is to set up a Wi-Fi guest network.
Like the one in your doctor's office or local coffee shop. It gives your guests access to the internet, but not the devices on your network.
There are 3 reasons why you'd want to set up a Wi-Fi guest network. One is to improve the privacy and security of your devices.
A friend's laptop could unknowingly be infected with malware that could spread to your devices.
By having this secondary guest network, your stuff is on the primary network and every other thing is on the secondary network. It just keeps your stuff safe because it is kept separate.
Reason number 2,
to improve the performance of your overall Wi-Fi network.
Most routers let you set bandwidth limits on a guest network to prevent them from slowing down your connection, and time limits that can automatically disconnect devices after a set time. It only takes a few minutes to set up a guest network, even if you're not tech savvy. First, log into your router's app or website and go to the settings. Look for guest network or a similar option. Activate it and give it a password and a name that's easy to identify, and it's ready to go. Which brings us to the 3rd reason.
To make it easier to give Wi-Fi access to friends and any visitors you may have.
Especially if you print out a QR code from your router's app.
Stick it on the fridge, take their phone, point it at the little QR code, and then boom, they're connected.
So you can be a good host while still protecting your digital privacy. Pat Foran, CTV News.
And that actually brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, do you give out your Wi-Fi password to people who visit your home? There are 3 options: yes, no, and your final option, it depends on the person. Just go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. All right, time for a final break here on CTV News at 5, but first a preview of our next story.
I'm Avery McRae at the Little River Reservoir in St. John, where a year ago a man saved a teenage boy from the chilly waters. An act of heroism that is now having him being honored with one of North America's top civilian honors. We have that story still to come on CTV News at 5.
TSN, CTV, and Crave are your home for coverage of FIFA World Cup 2026. On certain dates, including tomorrow, CTV News at 5 and CTV News at 6 will move to CTV 2. And that includes tomorrow, as we just mentioned, so make sure to find us on CTV 2 this Friday. Just go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca for the full schedule. And while we're on the topic, tomorrow on CTV News at 5, find out if you're the lucky winner of our Shore to Shore contest. One viewer and a guest will enjoy round-trip passage on MV Fundy Rose, accommodations, dining, and so much more. From Digby to St. John, that's tomorrow at 5 right here on CTV News at 5 on CTV 2. All right, final story now. A St. John man has received North America's highest honor for civilian heroism. CTV's Avery McCrae spoke with him today about the life-saving efforts of a teenager that happened at a popular beach this time of year last year.
It's a busy day at St. John's Little River Reservoir. Here, a lifeguard watches over swimmers on a sunny day. But on June 9th last year, no one was on duty when a teenage boy was struggling to stay afloat.
It felt very fast and incredibly long at the same time.
Matt Baxter was on site working with city officials on a new volleyball court for the park when he heard a commotion coming from the water. After seeing a teen struggling, he raced down to the shore, only managing to get his helmet and vest off before diving into the chilly 60-degree waters and swimming out over 100 feet to the boy, steel-toed boots and all.
As I was hitting the water, that's when I was like, this is happening. And it wasn't, am I going to stop? It's, this is happening, and I need to get there.
His experience in the armed forces came in handy during the rescue, as he managed to grab the boy and slowly bring him ashore.
Things weren't going well there for a moment, and we were both going under at one point, and it was just like, just got to keep going, don't stop.
Were you ever worried for a moment, like, I'm not coming out of this water myself?
Yeah.
But the two made it ashore, suffering from little more than some swallowed water. Baxter's act of heroism quickly made its way to City Hall, and last summer he was honored by the city with a council commendation. Now it's another award Baxter is receiving, the Carnegie Medal for Heroism, which is one of North America's top civilian honors for those who risk their lives in an attempt to save another.
Honestly, I'm proud of this one. You know, I'm just very grateful. I'm grateful for how it turned out, first and foremost, and that was good enough. But this is pretty cool.
Baxter says he hasn't spoken with the teens since that day, but has heard no shortage of thank yous from the community. When asked if he would do it all over again in a similar situation, Baxter didn't hesitate.
Bystander effect is real, so just being the one to call, being the one to just yell for help, do whatever you can, that will save lives ultimately.
Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
Congratulations, well deserved. My goodness, how amazing and how lucky that young boy was to have somebody who was brave enough to jump in the water and come after him.
A true hero, from his steel-toed boots all the way to the top of his hair.
Outstanding. Yeah. All right, Caitlin, let's talk about the weather. How's it looking out there?
So today we had some pretty fair weather conditions. Tomorrow, though, we do have some showers returning to parts of the Maritimes, and some of those showers do linger into the start of the weekend, so we'll be talking more about that coming up in CTV News at 6.
We'll see you and Todd at 6 o'clock. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. The national news is next.